There is an abandoned train station hidden deep within the mountains, far from any active routes. Silvercliff Station has been deserted for decades after a tragic accident claimed the lives of hundreds when the midnight train derailed and plunged into the ravine. Since then, the station has been locked up, and the tracks have rusted over. But local legends tell of a phantom train that returns every full moon, its whistle echoing through the valley, and those who hear it are said to vanish, never to be seen again. Maya, a young travel blogger with a penchant for urban exploration, stumbles upon the story of Silvercliff Station while researching forgotten places. Determined to find out if the legend is true, she decides to visit the station on the night of the full moon, armed with her camera and recording equipment to capture any paranormal activity. Silvercliff Station was once a bustling hub, the last stop before the train plunged into the treacherous mountain tunnels. On a foggy night in the 1950s, the midnight train, carrying passengers, cargo, and several members of a prominent business family, went off the tracks. Investigators never figured out what caused the accident, but strange circumstances surrounded the event. Many believe that the engineer saw something on the tracks, a figure that disappeared moments before the crash. Some passengers reported hearing strange whispers moments before the disaster. After the tragedy, the station was shut down and abandoned. Maya arrives at the deserted Silvercliff Station just before midnight. The road leading to it is overgrown with weeds, and the station itself is covered in vines, with broken windows and crumbling walls. The platform, though empty, feels eerie, as if it's waiting for something. The air is thick with fog, and the faint scent of coal still lingers in the air. As Maya sets up her camera, the wind picks up, rustling through the trees. She walks the length of the platform, her flashlight revealing rusted benches, an old ticket booth, and remnants of the once busy station. The tracks, long unused, stretch into the darkness, disappearing into the mountains. At exactly midnight, a cold breeze sweeps across the platform, carrying with it the distant sound of a train whistle. Maya's heart skips a beat. She checks her watch. There's no way a train could be coming. The tracks haven't been used in decades. Suddenly, her camera picks up an odd sound, a faint humming, followed by soft whispers. She rewinds the recording but can't make out what the voices are saying. The air grows colder, and she hears a faint metallic sound, like wheels turning on rusted tracks. Nervously, she follows the sound down the platform. Out of the fog, Maya sees a shimmering figure, the ghostly silhouette of a train materializing on the tracks. It's the midnight train. Its once bright red and silver carriages now glow faintly in the moonlight. The train comes to a halt at the platform, its engine hissing, and the doors creak open with a slow, eerie groan. Maya's curiosity overrides her fear, and she steps closer. Through the windows, she sees passengers, people in old-fashioned clothing sitting in silence. Their faces are pale, their eyes hollow and staring ahead. None of them move, but Maya can feel their presence, as if they are aware of her. As Maya steps onto the train, she feels a sudden chill. The doors slide shut behind her with a loud clang, trapping her inside. The passengers slowly turn to look at her, their expressions emotionless but their eyes filled with sorrow. A man in a conductor's uniform appears at the end of the aisle, his eyes glowing faintly. "You've boarded the midnight train," he says, his voice low and mournful. "You should never have come here." Maya tries to ask him what's happening, but he simply points toward the back of the train. "They're waiting for you." The whispers from before grow louder, and Maya realizes they are coming from the passengers. Their lips don't move, but the voices fill her mind, overlapping in a chaotic hum. "We didn't make it," they whisper. "We're still here, trapped, until someone sets us free." Panic sets in as the train lurches forward, moving along the abandoned tracks. Outside the windows, the mountain landscape passes in a blur. But it feels wrong, warped, as if she's not really in the real world anymore. The train picks up speed, and the whispers turn to pleas, begging Maya to help them escape their eternal journey. As the train barrels toward the ravine where the original crash occurred, Maya realizes what's happening. The midnight train is repeating its final journey, forever doomed to crash again. She has to stop it. But how? The conductor seems like part of the haunting, just another ghost bound to the train. Desperate, Maya searches the train cars, looking for anything that might give her a clue. In the last car, she finds something unusual, an old newspaper clipping about the crash. The article mentions that the train was carrying valuable cargo, including personal effects of the business family that perished in the crash. The ledger, a voice whispers in her mind. It's the key. Maya realizes that the family's ledger, filled with debts and dark dealings, was on the train. Rumor had it that the family was cursed because of their greed and exploitation. If she can find the ledger and destroy it, perhaps she can break the curse that binds the train and its passengers. Racing against time as the train speeds toward the ravine, Maya searches the conductor's quarters. There, she finds the ledger, an old, leather-bound book, its pages yellowed and brittle. The whispers grow frantic, urging her to act. Just as the train reaches the edge of the ravine, Maya sets the ledger on fire. The flames flicker and grow, consuming the book. The train screeches to a halt, and the passengers' whispers turn to sighs of relief. As the fire consumes the ledger, the midnight train begins to fade. The passengers smile, their ghostly forms dissolving into the night. Maya steps off the train just as it vanishes, the tracks behind her now quiet and empty. She stands alone at Silver Cliff Station, the fog lifting as dawn breaks. The train is gone, and the curse is lifted. The air is still, and for the first time in decades, Silver Cliff Station is truly abandoned. Maya leaves the station, knowing she has uncovered the truth, and set the spirits of the midnight train free. But as she drives away, she hears one last faint whistle on the wind, a reminder that some journeys are never truly over.